Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Julady Vega. I am a marketing specialist here at VoIP Supply. We also have today with us Ryan Priest. Ryan is actually going to be taking over our account for a little bit here as we no longer have Matthew Haney with us. Ryan has been a great help to us, and I'm sure that he will do a great job at supporting our account like Matthew used to do, and he will do an awesome job presenting for us today the information that we have. So he will be going over a little bit of version 18 and what those updates are. So without further ado, again, thank you for joining us, and I'm going to pass it over to Ryan.
Hey guys, nice to meet you. I am filling in for Matthew, so for the time being, I will be in control of doing the webinars as needed. So we will communicate further if there's any adjustments being made. We can probably wait just a couple more seconds here just to make sure nobody pops in late, and then I'll get started with the presentation.
Thank you, Ryan. And I do want to point out, if you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to submit them in the Q&A session or the chat. I know most people prefer the chat, but we prefer the Q&A. Either way, it's fine. And you can also unmute yourself at the end of the webinar, if that's okay with you, Ryan, and just ask the question live if you feel comfortable doing that. And Ryan, if it's for a 3CX question, I will answer that at the end. And if it's voice supply related, I will be here to assist as well. Thank you.
Yep, very well. And there may be some questions that I'm not going to have the answers to as of now as we're making the transition. But anything that we have as far as questions, we can follow up with an email, present your question, and then we can also circle back around and get you some answers for that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Looks like it's 2:02. I think we'll go ahead and get started with this. So as I introduce myself, so hi everybody, thank you for joining today. The presentation, we're going to be covering our latest release, which is version 18. My name is Ryan Priest. I'm the account manager here at 3CX. Okay, so these are the things that we've been working on. The highly requested Microsoft Teams integration is here at last. It's been a little bit, there's been some changes and some updates and things like that, but we finally have it released on version 18. Also increasing our high standards of security and reliability. We have some voice engine improvements and improved messaging functionalities. We're also providing better video conferencing performance and usability. And by doing so, we implemented the top 10 forum requests. So version 18 brings better codec management. We improved audio quality by using G711 when on Wi-Fi and G729 when on the data network. You can also select a default codec throughout your 3CS system for all the apps. Also, tune the voice engine. So updating the latest SIP library for compatibility, you can now encrypt calls much simpler. We made it much easier to configure the SRTP, and our apps are finally IPv6 compliant. So we merged the tunnel into the media server. For the apps and the SBC, this means more reliability and faster recovery from network drops and changes. On top of this, we reduced processor and memory usage by more than 50%. This is extremely important for cloud deployments. To take full advantage of these changes, we updated our iOS and Android apps. The result is a noticeable improvement in audio quality and reliability. Plus, we wrote our push integration based on Google and Apple's recommendations. So very nice change there. You're unlikely to ever miss a call again, certainly not on account of a missed push request. So that's been taken into consideration. We're very, very strong on the push requests that we've received from our partners. We updated to Debian 10 on the Linux. We also updated to the latest .NET Core, OpenSSL, and the Postgres. Don't underestimate the importance of staying up to date. Some of our competitors are on operating systems that have been end of life for years. We have the latest ciphers. So now we have an A+ rating on Qualys Labs and an A on Immune Lab. You won't fully appreciate this until you get hacked. We passed the PCI, the HIPAA, and the NIST test to follow the industry's best practices. A lot of HIPAA compliance changes have been made with version 18, which is very important. We now support single sign-on. You can log on to the web client and management console using your Active Directory, Micro 365, or your Google account. Local Active Directory accounts are supported via Microsoft's free Azure AD Connect service. This way you can achieve two-factor authentication if you use Microsoft 365 or Google G Suite. If you just run Active Directory, you can sync to Azure AD in the cloud free of charge and do single sign-on from there. A massive new feature is the Microsoft Teams integration. Via our Teams SIP proxy, 3CX users can now call Teams users. In turn, Teams users can dial out via 3CX SIP trunks and call 3CX extensions. Give Teams telephony only to a few selected users that really need it. Everyone can use 3CX and save big. Team users can enjoy a much more powerful PBX while integrated with 3CX. So 3CX Teams integration uses direct routing, also known as SBC trunking. So the 3CX Teams integration is more than just an SBC, which has certain drawbacks such as extensions being idle and team users' calls being missed from call reports. This also enhances the call quality of users enjoy less hops, less errors, and less delays when using connectivity directly via an SBC. The Teams integration offers synchronization of users, calendars, and a unified call history. This is a huge opportunity for our partners, and this is why. So Teams has 145 million daily active users today. Teams is a free add-on for existing Microsoft 365 users, and it is the #1 collaboration platform in the world currently. However, it lacks telephony and has a high price point, which is where 3CX fits. Plus, all of our free downloaders can trial this, creating more of the hottest leads for you, our valued partner base. Microsoft Teams integration was the #1 feature request of our partner base in 2020 and is included only in the Enterprise Edition. As you can imagine, with the work from home becoming more popular, Teams has been one of the most sought after requests for our partner base. We also made admin rights more granular. The new phone system role phone system admin allows management of phone system tasks such as adding extension, changing holiday settings, access to ring groups, and more. This role does not allow system level management or SIP trunk changes. As we all know, inexperienced users should not meddle with such configurations anyhow. One more time, this role does not allow system level management or SIP trunk changes. Another highly requested feature, the audit log, enables you to track all the changes made within your PBX. Now it's easier to monitor who did what in your PBX. No more mystery changes, and admins can be held accountable for any changes that they make. So as you can see here, date and time, admin, IP address, event log, management console, user login, all this information is logged so we can see what changes were made at what time from what IP address. We also added the top 10 forum IDs to version 18, such as IVR improvements, which was requested, normalized caller IDs to E164, and reorganized the management console, making it more intuitive and easier to navigate. On Windows, you can now install the web client as a native Windows app using a framework called Electron, which is also used by WhatsApp and Teams. This means it integrates better with the OS, eliminating the need to log in if authenticated on Windows. This also means there is no need to install a separate Google Chrome extension. You can now keep the 3CX client next to your main workspace, for example, Office or a CRM. This is very similar to the old Windows client. First off, we will support the new Google messaging. This appears in searches in Google Maps and allows customers to reach out to you easily. We will be adding Apple iMessage. We are including MMS and one-way SMS with alphanumeric sender ID and feature updates. These are useful for customer notifications. A chat IVR for web visitors is also coming up, which give visitors the option to select the relevant department for their inquiry. For example, if you have a specific sales question or if you have a support question. Chat ratings and improved reports will allow you to evaluate the performance of your agents and customer satisfaction. Now, 3CX video conferencing became a lifeline for many businesses during the global lockdowns of the last 2 years, as it was the closest we could come into contact with both customers and colleagues alike. Through this pandemic, we have seen an increase of 250% in video conferencing usage, and it shows no sign of slowing down. We created our own algorithms to manage users' bandwidth issues. We added a modern and simplified UI that brings even more functionality to users, especially those presenting such as teachers and tutors. We redeveloped the 3CX video conferencing apps, added much more MCUs, including one in Moscow. Now, I believe on the older versions, guys, as we get into March, there's going to be web meetings from the old versions that are not updated will become end of life. And then as we get into May, all mobile apps are going to be deleted from older versions as well. As we continue to work, 16.8 is a workaround patch. That version is going to be end of life come November, but slowly they're torturing the app and deleting features little by little as we go. For some users who don't use the video conferencing, the mobile apps, they'll be reluctant to change to version 18. However, if there's any issues you guys run into, the only fix is going to be to update to version 18. So if you got a stubborn customer who continues, or for whatever reason, we're running an older version and there's any sort of technical issues, it's going to be mandatory to update to version 18 before we can do any sort of troubleshooting. So it is very important to get that plan in effect for the new version 18. We will continue to invest in video conferencing and focus on privacy. For version 18, we created integrated video conferencing, meaning your videos run in your 3CX system and no longer in the cloud. This enhances data privacy. It makes it easier to dial in. We also created easy to use URLs. So this will give you 100% control of your media processing. For banks, insurance, medical companies, and government agencies, this is an absolute must. Recurring meetings and group-based meeting rooms are also on our roadmap. Soon we'll be able to update your 3CX profile status upon entry into a video conference and add dial-in functionality to your personal meeting rooms. So here's what we're bringing to video conferencing soon. A new codec, which reduces bandwidth and offers even better video quality. The ability to configure your own MCU deployment will be coming soon. For y'all that don't know, the MCU is the media control unit, so that's going to be coming soon, very important. New codec, AV1, which consumes less bandwidth, better video quality, and consumes 124 kN per stream. Reoccurring meetings, auto update of extension status when in a video conference. And then we also have group-based meeting rooms. So the request for a roadmap comes up frequently. Here's a summary of what to expect in coming updates. In regards to ETA, please check our blog and the mailers for more information in due time. Your account managers, anybody you reach out to is not going to have this information. Once it's known, it'll be communicated directly to the 3CX website. So we have our sites on Siri and CarPlay, Android 12 and Android Auto, Google Messaging, Apple iMessage, and MMS is on the way, SMS with alphanumeric sender ID. Also coming up, we have chat rating, email chat transcript, source URL, meaning knowing which web page the customer initiated the chat from, more chat reports, better CRM integration for chat, the chat IVR. Also will be supporting the new Yealink headsets, which are half the price of the other headset vendors. Also coming, Zammad help desk integration in which users will sync with Zammad. Within Zammad, you can use macro text for the text snippets, the knowledge base in which you may import your frequent Q&As, and also using these functions, you save time, improve customer service, and ensure uniformity in the answers provided. Smaller installs can be installed on the same machine as Zammad. Okay, also coming Zammad Help Desk, integration in which users will sync with Zammad. With Zammad, you can, oops, let me see. I think I already went through this one. All right, so we're gonna have the Q&A, guys. Again, if we have any, I'll jump back over to the chat. If you guys wanna put some questions in the chat, we can do our best to go through and answer those. Otherwise, we will obviously take all the questions that y'all may have, and we can put on those in an email as well. And that's it for my presentation. I can kick this back over to Lady, and she can walk us through this. And if you guys have any questions, again, we'll do our best to get you an answer here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ryan. Let's just wait a couple of minutes and see if anyone has any questions that we can answer.
Yeah, and in the meantime, guys, if you're doing upgrades to version 18, maybe you get stuck on something, or you want to know, man, maybe I can't roll out the new update to version 18 for another couple weeks. The 3CX website is going to have everything that you're going to need to know. It's going to have a timetable on there, what features are deleted at what time period, what date, what month. You can even type into Google just version 18 upgrade 3CX. It'll take you directly to the link on our webpage. If you have anybody who needs instructions on how to do that. There has been some maintenance in the partner portal, so I know within the last week we have had a little bit of issues with customers being able to navigate and doing some upgrades. I believe most of that maintenance is fixed. You will notice that if you have licenses you're trying to renew that are on an older version, obviously it's gonna make you update to version 18 before you can do any license renewals. So keep that in mind. But if you have any questions, the blogs and the forums are going to have all the information posted. If you have any additional questions outside of that, of course, you can file a support ticket at any time.
And thank you so much, Ryan, and thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thanks, guys.